Today we're going to be making friendship bracelets on a wheel, and they come out like this. And we're going to use the thread that we got from the dollar store. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a cereal box. You're going to open the cereal box. You're going to take just a container that you want, about the size that you want it. You're going to draw a circle around it. And Rita's here, but she's being very quiet. Wave your hands, Rita, so everybody knows you're here. There's Rita. We kidnapped Rita today. Giving Lily a break. Okay, so then you make your circle, and then you're going to take a smaller circle. I just used a soda cap, and you're going to put it in the center, and you're just going to draw a circle around that as well. And then you're going to cut them out. Okay, now that we have it cut out, we're going to draw a line across the center. So we're going to find just about where the center is. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to take the pen that actually works and we're going to draw a line across the center. You can do this before you cut it out as well if you want. And then you're going to draw a line the opposite direction so that it makes an X. Oops, helps if you hold down the circle. And then you're going to turn it, and you're going to make lines in between each of those spaces so that when you're all done, you're going to have 8 little sections. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect. It just needs to be divided into 8 sections. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut in just a little bit on each one of the sections. Right on the line. Yeah, about that far. That's good. All right, and you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, and the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pick what kind of thread or yarn or whatever it is that you want to use. Rita picked her colors, so she picked these colors here. A couple of the colors we got at the dollar store. Some of them you can just buy embroidery floss. And what we're going to do, you're going to use 7 strands, but because this is so thin, we're going to double the strands, so you're going to end up cutting 2 for each single one that you need. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, 14 strands.
Right, you're going to have 14 strands altogether. So you're going to make them about 25 inches long for each one, and then you can decide how many of each design, each color that you want. So we're going to measure it out to about 25 inches, and you're just going to cut it right about, oops, right there. And then you could just use the one that you measured to measure your next ones. Now, if you're doing with 3 different colors like Rita's doing, you're going to have 2 of 2 colors and 3 of the third one. So you decide which one you want 2 or 3 of. Okay, so here we go. All right, now you can do the rest of them. So that's 1, so you can figure out how many of what else you want. There are 4 strands of red, which will be 2 sections. There's going to be 4 strands or 2 sections of this orangey color, and then there's 6 strands or 3 sections of the blue. Okay, so once you have them all, then you're going to take all of your threads. You're going to line the ends up together. You're going to tie a knot at the end. Kind of want to get it pretty close to the end. And you're going to tie another knot right on top of that one. So you've got one big knot. Okay. Then you're going to take your circle that you made. You're going to drop the knot down inside the circle. Then you're going to spread your colors out 2 at a time. And you can do them in whatever pattern you want. There doesn't have to be a specific pattern. as you do them, you'll figure out which way the designs come out. This one is just going to be a random spiral. So we're going to put we have 2 threads. So we're going to do red, and we're going to do, let's see, I can separate them. And the next one, we'll do orange. And we'll do blue. And then we'll do, well, let's do 2 blues. See what kind of pattern we get with this one. So we'll do 2 blues. We'll do a red and an orange and another blue. Now you have 7 pieces of thread and 8 slots. There's an empty slot down here. Okay. Okay, so once you have all the threads in there, you're going to spread them out so that they're all nice and smooth. Okay. And then you're going to put the empty space closest to you. Okay. So this one is closest to me. It's going to be at the bottom. Okay. Kind of tilt it so that it's towards the bottom. All right. Then you're going to take, and you're going to count from the empty space. You're going to count 1, 2, 3. And you're going to take this 3rd set of threads and pull it out, and you're going to move it down to the empty space. Okay. Then you're going to turn it. So now the empty space is up here. You're going to turn it so that the empty space is at the bottom again. And you're going to do it again. You're going to count 1, 2, 3. And you're going to take those threads and you're going to bring them into the empty space. Okay, now the empty space is up here again. Turn it again, and you're going to move it down here to the bottom. And you're going to count 1, 2, 3, and you're going to take that one and move it. And that's all you have to do. If you can count to 3, you can do this bracelet. So we're going to have the empty space towards us. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, and we're going to move it into the next space at the bottom. Turn it towards you, 1, 2, 3, and move it into the empty space. Now, if it shifts around a little bit, just give it a little pull, tighten up on your threads, and then you'll see that sometime towards the bottom, it's going to get a little tangled. Just run your fingers through it, and they untangle really easily, okay? And then you're going to go again. You're going to put this towards you again. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, move that one into the empty space, and around until we get to the end. Once we get to the end, I'll come back and I'll show you how to finish it off. In order to figure out how long your bracelet needs to be, you can take a measuring tape if you have one, or just a piece of string if you don't. And you're just going to measure around your wrist to see about how long it needs to be. Okay, so mine is about 7.5, okay, and that's about how long, as you're braiding your bracelet, you want to get it to about that long. You can make it a little bit shorter than that because the way that we make the clasp on it gives you a little bit of extra length. Okay, all right, so we're gonna finish braiding and we'll be back in a couple minutes. I finished my braiding. When you measure it, you're going to take whatever it is you're measuring with, you're going to go all the way into the center of your braid and then measure it. Oops, turn that over so you can see what the numbers are. Turn it over and you're going to measure it all the way down to your knot. Okay, so it's 7.5, I don't know if you can see that, 7.5 inches. Okay, so that's how long we wanted it to be. Okay, so now I'll show you how to finish off your bracelet. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to take all of your strings off from the wheel. Doesn't matter what order you take them in, just take them all off. Okay, and set your wheel aside because you can use it for another bracelet at another time. Now once you have it off, this is what mine looked like with the pattern of yarn that I put on the wheel. Okay, now at the end of your, very end of your braid, you're going to tie a knot, just like we did at the beginning. So you're just going to loop it around and push it through. It's easier to push the knotted end through than all the threads. Okay, and you want to make sure that you don't go over the top of your braid so you lose some of your length, but you want to get it right as close to the edge of your braiding as you can. Tighten it all on there, nice and tight. Okay, and then you're going to leave a bit of space, pretty much just about the width of your knot. Okay, so you're going to go like that. I'll put my finger between the threads, separate them out a little bit, and then I'll tie a knot in the leftover thread around my finger. Okay, so my finger's still in there, and then we're going to tie a knot with the leftover threads. Put my finger back in there to make sure how tight we want it to be, and we're going to snug it down onto my finger just like that. Okay, so that when we put our bracelet on, it's going to go around our wrist like this, and then our knot is going to just push right through our threads. Now, if you don't want to do this, if you don't want one that'll come off and on, you could just tie the two ends together. Okay, but I like to be able to change my bracelets out. So you just push it through, pull it up, and then you have a bracelet. See? Just like this. And you can braid this out to the end. You can cut it off so that it's short, however you want to do it. If it's a little too long and you think it's going to get caught on stuff, trim it up a little bit closer, braid it out. Okay? And that's all there is to making your own friendship bracelet with nothing more than some thread and a cardboard box.